Over 3,000 feet beneath the ocean after hundreds of years of searching, a live.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
Wow, oh my God.
In the ocean, I think the ocean creatures are very bizarre.
So they had a camera deep under this oil rig, and they spotted this thing with these insane long appendages.
Oh, whoa, yeah, that's different. I thought that's
Look
not
at
what
that,
I thought.
but look at the legs on it. Obvious bend, like an insect.
Yeah, that's very bizarre.
The scariest thing I saw was a pitch black Atlantic Ocean, 60 feet down, no scuba tank.
At night.
At night. And I opened my eyes in my mask in the darkness with my flashlight, and I saw endless black void staring right at me.
We've got something, the size of a 2 to 4 story house in the deep ocean that we've never seen.
2,500 feet below the water's surface, back in 2012, a unique discovery was made when a deep-sea camera captured something completely otherworldly. Previously known as a deep-sea monster, a massive squid was filmed alive in the darkest depths of the oceans. Researchers were excited to see a huge squid.
No, it's low because everybody's excited.
That was estimated to be the size of a 2-story house. These colossal creatures wouldn't appear casually, so this one might have deployed a large light in the deep water and approached it to find food, providing scientists with a rare opportunity to capture footage of itself. Preserved squid. You may have seen many giant squids, but this one stands out above all.
A very big, very beautiful specimen of the colossal squid, which is one of the largest squid that we know of on the planet.
This mighty squid was caught by a fisherman in the Ross Sea near Antarctica and was frozen on the ship. 1 year later, a team in New Zealand interested in learning more about this rare creature decided to defrost the specimen. With a whopping length of 8 meters, 770-pound weight, and eyes measuring up to 35 centimeters in diameter.
Colossal squid has got the largest known eyes in the animal kingdom, and that opening is about the same proportion as the human pupil to the rest of the eye.
This colossal creature was considered the largest and best preserved squid ever caught. Despite being in ice for a year, it still has a powerful beak that was once used for snapping the backbone of prey meters away. This colossal creature will be further examined and tested before being preserved for display in museums. Blanket octopus. Caught on camera off the coast of the Philippines. This strange creature baffled the divers when it was seen swimming with a long multicolor sheet attached to its body. Unknown at first, but after getting more shots, it turned out to be the rainbow octopus that is among the rare species. Commonly referred to as the blanket octopus, it has long sheets of webbing that stretch between some of its arms. It is not commonly found as they spend most of their time in the open ocean. Interestingly, they can adapt to the various water temperatures, which helps them expand their area to roam freely. Squid washed ashore. Last year in April, people in Japan were astonished to see a giant squid moving in the shallow waters of Obama. Because of the scarcity of live sightings, their true distribution across the globe is not known, and most of the time their carcasses have been found washed up all around the world. So, spotting one alive was literally an amazing experience. Marine biologists were excited to discover the 10 feet long and 176-pound squid. That was a young sample though, but it was believed to provide necessary information about this deep water resident. Later, it was decided to transport that rarest living sample to a nearby local aquarium for further examination. Squid at harbor. In December 2015, a team of marine authorities rushed to a local harbor after they were informed about a giant squid that was seen swimming in small depths. Spotting a colossal squid close to the surface was unusual because these deep sea creatures never or rarely came to the top. And this was considered to have been injured or disoriented. That's why it entered this sheltered part of water. Fortunately, the squid was in good condition and spurting ink around. Rescuers jumped in and guided it toward the ocean just to save the rare marine life. Mass demise. A man while walking along Mason's Beach stumbled upon a large number of squids washed ashore. Probably more than hundreds. They were scattered all around. And unfortunately, none of them was found alive. After recording that heart-wrenching sight, he decided to share it online to ask marine experts about this unusual incident. According to them, these squids might have been carried ashore by strong water tides, finding themselves in shallow water. This could be the reason for their mass demise. Humboldt squid. While fishing in Sekiu, this man would have never expected that he would come across such a giant sea creature.
This one hooked. Absolutely amazing.
Expecting to catch a huge fish, he instead hooked a giant Humboldt squid with the bait. Once stuck in a hook, the marine life tried to escape and kept on spurting water on its offender.
There he goes. He's doing that propulsion thing they do. They are really very amazing.
But the man had no intentions of letting it go. Rather, he used his full force and pulled the unusual catch out of the water. He was happy and amazed after looking at the size of this giant Humboldt.
Wow, that's like the kind of excitement and fishing that you never thought you were going to have, I swear. Wow.
Big Boss. Appearing on a boat to warn the fishermen not to approach it. Here we have a massive octopus. Weighing over 50 pounds, it was caught on a strip of mackerel while these people were fishing for rockfish. The reddish-brown octopus then proceeded to do a bit of exploring around the vessel. In the end, a man on the boat opens a gate, and the octopus slithers off back into the sea. Massive sturgeon. A monster fish with a bone-breaking 716 pounds weight and jaw-dropping 10 feet length. This is exactly what we call catch of the day. In May 2018, a Chinese fisherman hit the jackpot after a massive marine animal landed in his fishing net. The heavy fish was identified as a female Kaluga sturgeon, the largest freshwater fish, and was thought to be 100 years old. The prehistoric creature was transported to the local department for further research where it was kept in a huge pool. However, after biological analysis, the pristine mammoth was released back to its deep habitat. Unknown fish. We all have the fantasy of discovering the oldest beings, such as the first elephant or the first lion. However, have you ever thought about knowing the oldest fish? Well, China researchers have found the fossil of the world's oldest fish, named the Yunnan stormfish. Its physical shape is enough to confirm that it was not an ordinary trawl, as it was huge and had a strange appearance compared to the fish we see today. Since it wasn't found intact, more efforts will be required by researchers to study and explore this ancient being. Ribbon worm. A fisherman on Pungu Island met a green alien-like blob with an odd branched tongue. He posted the footage and let the social media users do the analysis. An expert identified it as a ringworm, a weird invertebrate that lived in shallow marine waters. And branched milky goo is actually the worm's hunting gear that this aggressive predator shoots out from a specialized port to net prey. It then drags the captured prey into its mouth and swallows it whole. Look how this worm tries to defend itself by shooting out its tongue, which splatters against the man's hand, and then the worm starts convulsing. Lake mystery. A Chinese woman, while walking near a lake, suddenly stopped to investigate the source of a weird noise coming from the water. An unknown creature was spotted splashing a lot of water, but it didn't seem like a fish or a dolphin, and quickly vanished from sight. Luckily, it was captured on camera, and authorities were unable to identify the creature, which was estimated to be 15 meters in size. Though they sent a few divers to search the lake, but came out empty-handed, leaving a question mark on the existence of the mysterious creature. Giant carcass. A few months back in Hong Kong, a group of anglers, while fishing in eastern waters, stumbled upon a massive carcass. At first, it was thought to be a deceased humpback whale, but upon getting closer, it turned out to be a bride whale. Strangely, there were no signs of any disease, and the mammal was completely healthy. However, during the investigation, researchers found deep cuts on its body that could not have resulted from a fight. And also, it was confirmed by the pictures captured during whale-watching trips that those cuts might have come from human activity, indirectly leading to the demise of this unfortunate whale. Massive megamouth. While fishing off the coast of Owas in Mie Prefecture, a group of Japanese fishermen caught a gigantic shark with a body length of approximately 5 meters and a large mouth. This creature was identified as a megamouth shark. It might be just a catch for the anglers for marine biologists. It was a unique specimen, as these sea creatures live from near the surface to as deep as 15,000 feet, and it was very rare for a megamouth to be found off the coast. Later, it was handed over to the researchers to study more about this species due to its rarity. Worm rain. It's raining worms in China.
Oh my God! There's the whole pack!
Captioned by a man who uploaded this video in March 2023. Showing worms have covered the streets and cars in Beijing, it took no time to go viral, leaving people curious and worried at the same time. The situation became critical when people decided to leave the city. The authorities dug into this matter, which took them to the site of the video, where they couldn't find any worms. All they could find were catkins, flowers from poplar trees that resemble worms. Later, they announced the fact check on social media, and also stressed the citizens to not believe everything they see on the internet. Big fin squid. Guys, don't panic. It's not an alien, but a rare squid standing in its signature pose known as the elbow pose. It was a Magna Pinna squid, filmed in the Gulf of Mexico. This is probably the most famous big fin squid video of all time, likely due to the eerie feeling caused by the odd green light. Massive in size due to its long tentacles, it can grab its prey from a long distance easily. Although it has been spotted multiple times in different parts of the ocean, researchers avoid catching it as it could endanger this species. The Lion City. China undoubtedly is the world's oldest civilization, and as a result, incredible discoveries continue to emerge. Recently, a team of divers uncovered a submerged city in the province of Zhejiang known as the Lion City. Remarkably, this city featured 5 entry gates and ancient drawings carved on its well-preserved walls. The city's structures, including homes, temples, and paved roads, have remained remarkably intact, submerged 131 feet underwater. This submersion has protected the city from the damaging effects of wind, rain, and sunlight. Today, it has become a popular tourist destination, attracting visitors who explore this submerged marvel with the help of divers. Human skulls. A gruesome and heart-wrenching discovery was made at the eastern gate of a Chinese city. Archaeologists found 80 grouped skulls in separate pits, and shockingly, none of them had a skeleton attached. The forensic report unearthed that all the victims were young girls who were believed to be victims of ritual beheadings that took place during the laying of the wall's foundation. It seems that they were all inmates who might have belonged to an opposing faction. Well, researchers are still not sure about the actual reason behind it, but this is the oldest instance of human sacrifice in Chinese history. Largest gold discovery. Marking the largest find of gold in the Han Dynasty era, Chinese archaeologists have discovered 378 gold items in a tomb. Measuring up to 10 centimeters in length, gold plates along gold-plated daggers were uncovered, which the tomb's owner might have used for protection. These daggers were constructed differently compared to the modern ones we have today. Experts said that the tomb is so big that a few parts still need to be explored. And who knows what thrilling things we might find next time. Dinosaur eggs. Workers at a construction site in China discovered 5 70-million-year-old dinosaur eggs embedded in the sandstone. Although 3 of the 5 eggs were destroyed during excavation, when examined inside, they contained more sandstone with clearly visible veins along the shell. Experts believe that these eggs belong to plant-eating dinosaurs that may have lived in this area around 60 to 100 million years ago. However, this site is quite famous for such remarkable discoveries, as people had found dinosaur eggs here before. The eggs were later shifted to the museum for further study. Heaven Cliffs. Suspended on the cliffs of the mountains, these are the hanging coffins of China that were placed there centuries ago. Technology did not exist during that ancient period, and accomplishing such a task with bare hands would have been nearly impossible. According to experts, these coffins belong to the ancient Bo and Guyue people, dating back nearly 3,000 years, who did not bury or cremate their loved ones, but instead hung them from cliffs to send them to heaven quickly. And surprisingly, they are still hanging. Ancient couple. Breaking up barren land in China, a group of researchers stumbled upon something really strange that later turned out to be the biggest discovery of the century. While digging, they found a large trunk and thought it to be full of treasure. But what they found instead was a mummified couple covered in a large piece of thick cloth and was believed to be 5,000 years old. Archaeologists also found a ring on the woman's hand that looked like a wedding ring. It is yet to be known who their ruler could have been, but whoever it was must have been a cruel person. This couple may have resisted the ruler's decision, resulting in their mummified demise. Fish Fest. Winter fishing has been a tradition in China and held every year on Lianhuan Lake since ancient times. Unique in its kind, this fishing festival takes place on ice, where the winner is determined by whoever manages to capture the biggest fish. Unlike traditional methods involving cutting holes in the ice and using manpower to set up nets, the fishermen at this event use machines to maintain the healthy ecosystem. People from various parts of China eagerly participate in this festival and enjoy it with their families and loved ones. Dragon Man.
A remarkable scientific discovery has been made in China. Researchers say they found the skull of what they believe is a new species of human.
A 140-year-old perfectly preserved skull has been discovered in northeastern China, which represents a new species of ancient people. The researchers have named the species Homo longi, or Dragon Man, for the region it was found, the Dragon River. The skull belonged to a large-brained male in his 50s, with deep-set eyes and thick brow ridges. Though his face was wide, it had flat, low cheekbones that made him resemble modern people more closely than other extinct members of the human family tree. Scientists believed that this discovery could fundamentally alter our understanding of human evolution. Tons of salmons. Modernization in technology has left no stone unturned in easing our lives, but it has also made the fishing process seem like a walk in the park. Just check out these fishermen catching tons of salmon fish in just a fraction of the time. First, they throw a humongous and heavy net into the water, which goes deep and collects hundreds and thousands of fish in one go. Sometimes, they get the most unexpected fish or sea animals out of the water. However, it not only saves their time, but also prevents them from becoming fatigued, unlike fishermen using traditional fishing methods. Mysterious Circle. This bizarre glowing ring was spotted in March 2022 and left the residents of Beijing in a cold shock. The shining hoop was recorded for 20 minutes at different locations, and a large number of myths were associated with it. Some thought a UFO was about to appear, while others claimed it was a majestic power. When the video of this mysterious circle hit the internet along with strange myths, the local meteorological bureau came into action to debunk all those fake theories and explained the ring was just a reflection of the lights from a rehearsal of the closing ceremony of games at the National Stadium. Light Tower. This strange giant pillar of light towering over China buzzed the people on the internet as people started assuming it was a reflection or an alien craft coming down. The strange phenomenon remained a terrific mystery until it was explained by a meteorologist from Liaoning Meteorological Bureau. According to this, there are two main factors for this phenomenon. One is thick clouds with partial thin clouds, and the second is a lot of water vapor. Sia said he had never seen the phenomenon before, and there is no scientific name for it yet. Fish Road. It was a kilometer-long road made up of lifeless fish in Hakodate, Japan, puzzling the minds of everyone who saw this sight. Thousands of fish washed ashore. When authorities investigated the matter, they concluded that there was a strong possibility that these fish were being hunted by a giant predator, and they were continuously on the run, which made them fatigued and led them to come ashore. Well guys, I believe it's time to think about our marine ecosystem. Beak Critter. A man in the river came across a weird sea creature that initially looked like a crocodile, but later it began to resemble a beaked whale. However, one cannot be 100% sure. It seemed like this mysterious critter was trying to drive the man out of the river, as if it owned the territory, and no one could enter without permission. Doomsday Fish.
This fish comes with a reputation. Take a look at this deep-sea discovery off the coast of Taiwan.
As beautiful as it gets, the rare oarfish appeared on the northeastern coast of Taiwan. Divers encountered this giant oarfish, which was about 6 feet long, and had a few holes in its body, probably. The poor soul was bitten by a shark. Though they are rarely seen, experts claim that the fish beached themselves before a natural disaster. It is hard to believe that such beautiful creatures exist in our oceanic world, and many more are yet to be discovered. mysterious fireball. An unknown fireball seemed to appear in the night sky over Beijing, China. The fireball looked big and bright, leaving many witnesses wondering about its nature. Some people suspected that it resembled a large meteor. However, unlike a typical meteor, it had a steady and streamlined flow, as if someone were driving it. Upon closer look, observers noticed another fireball ahead of it. Well, guys, whatever the phenomenon was, it certainly had citizens glued to their seats, inculcated fear that it might fall on them. Tadpole UFO.
What has been the latest from Chinese officials regarding this unidentified flying object saga?
This breathtaking online clip shows a mysterious astronomical object that was seen flying in the night sky in China. The illuminated UFO-like entity created a dazzling path in the night sky. The object's trails lengthen as it gets closer to the camera, making it resemble a tadpole. It's not the first time such mysterious unidentified objects were seen flying in the sky. It happened many times before, and no one knows the real truth behind it. Therefore, it's still a mystery. Baby fish shower. Hats off to this worker who was helping transport the fish into the breeding pond. Unfortunately, his colleague misjudged the calculation of the trek from top to bottom, resulting in the fish coming out of the bag and falling onto the poor man. However, he didn't lose his composure and continued holding the bag, ensuring the fish could easily transfer to the water. As fish and water are lucky symbols in Chinese culture, may they continue to bring luck. But I'm still confused about whom to give my heart, to the baby fish or the worker. Ancient fort. Archaeologists in China recently unearthed the remains of a Great Wall fort that had been buried for hundreds of years. The Qingping fort dates back to the Ming Dynasty, spanning from 1368 to 1644 AD. Researchers discovered 2 courtyards and a significant quantity of well-preserved artifacts, including several statues. The archaeologists carefully cleaned these statues with brushes. However, researchers from the Shaanxi Academy of Archaeology believe that the military use of this particular fort was secondary. They argue that its primary purpose was to serve as a site for trade and fairs, facilitating peaceful exchanges. Ancient vampire. Archaeologists in Bulgaria have made a fascinating discovery as they have uncovered 2 medieval skeletons that were carefully preserved by time. The skeletons were found with iron rods piercing their chests, a practice believed to have been done to prevent them from turning into vampires. According to researchers in ancient times, some individuals with perceived negative qualities would undergo a ritual involving their hearts following their passing in certain villages. I guess such people were unaware of the sanctity and had no moral grounds. Sky anomaly? A huge shooting star? Or the sun is coming down? That was the typical reaction of the people in Yunnan, China. When a cosmic bright ball was seen coming down from the sky, it was identified as an asteroid that reportedly impacted a city in China, resulting in an explosion equivalent to 540 tons of TNT. Despite the relatively low explosive impact, experts suggest that unburned meteorites and debris may have fallen to the ground, with no reported damage. Rare species. These are not diamonds embedded in this giant fish, it's the color of its skin. This rare and endangered whale shark was spotted in the river of Hong Kong, leaving people amazed due to its looks and friendly behavior. Unfortunately, not many whale sharks are left, as their numbers have drastically decreased in the last few years. This is thanks to the commercialization of fish, which has left no stone unturned in destroying the marine ecosystem and risking the existence of many species underwater. Ghost crabs. A man was walking along the sand after finishing work near Phuket, southern Thailand, recorded this incredible moment where thousands of ghost crabs were seen running along a beach during low tide. At first, he became terrified, assuming it to be an attack, but locals reassured him it was a natural phenomenon. As the crabs live in the sand, and when the seawater level is lower, they appear, but it's rare to see so many of them come out at the same time. Blanket being. Wait, is it going to fly? It seemed like that though. A man in Vietnam recorded a video of it, which later buzzed on the internet. Many people, as always, come up with their mythical theories. Like it could be an angel who turned itself into an aquatic bird to check upon the aquatic animals. Well, let me bury this myth. Guys, that was a rare blanket octopus that appeared for a while on the surface, though it was unusual and rarely seen by many people. That was the reason it created the hype. Snake Den surprise. It's not just the ancient treasures that you might find underground, but sometimes it might just be a pit full of snakes. A Texas farmer in Gorman made a shocking discovery of over a dozen venomous snakes that were hidden under an old cabin. The farmer, along with his friend, were attempting to take down a windmill when one of them noticed a handful of snakes slithering under the cabin. Fortunately, they were able to avoid what would have been a huge disaster in the making. Traffic disruption. In China, traffic jams are quite common, but this one was very unique. The reason behind this one was not men but fish. Yeah. This happened when 5 tons of catfish slipped from the hopper of a running truck, causing a traffic emergency. Thankfully, people didn't mind that, and they came out of their vehicles and helped the truck driver collect the fish to put them in the truck again. And all the fish were returned to the lorry in under 2 hours. Endangered species. A herd of endangered Mongolian donkeys has reappeared in their homeland in northwest China. The wild donkeys, known as Mongolian kulans, are listed under China's first-level state protection for endangered species. With just over 2,000 still in existence, around 400 of them were spotted, safe and healthy. Their sharp decline over the past 6 decades has been attributed to poaching and the deterioration of their environment. The ecologists have been using artificial breeding techniques to increase population numbers, while patrol teams were established to prevent poaching. 1,000-year-old mummy. Peruvian archaeologists unearthed a more than 1,000-year-old mummy on the outskirts of Lima. This was believed to be the mummy of an adolescent found in an underground tomb, wrapped in a funerary bundle. Archaeologists revealed the shocking details that they found intact skin on the skull, and also discovered hair. They believe that there's enough material to recreate its face, and identify it with the help of modern technology. This discovery could provide valuable insights into the formation of the human body in ancient times. Roped mummy. An 800-year-old mummy with its hands covering its face was found by archaeologists in Peru. According to researchers, caretakers buried the individual in an oval-shaped tomb after wrapping its remains in cloth, placed its hands over its face, and tied its limbs together with rope by funerary practices popular in that mountainous region.
Diferente es justamente la forma de enterramiento, ¿no? En una estructura subterránea de forma casi cónica, ¿no? Y que se caracteriza pues por estar amarrada.
Though the gender of the mummy has not been confirmed, researchers believed that this discovery could be helpful to shed new light on the funerary rituals in prehistoric times.
El descubrimiento de la momia, nosotros seguimos realizando las excavaciones hasta el día de hoy, mañana y pasado, a donde lleguemos.
It's time for today's open discussion. It seems like a sea of octopuses. Thousands of them are brought to the Korean seafood factory almost every day, where they are washed, cleaned, and then exported to other countries. This process is called food processing with the latest technologies. Though modernization has eased our lives, marine creatures surely aren't happy with it, as fishermen catch them and their friends all at once. Just check out the numbers of these octopuses. You can't even count. I am sure no one has seen such a sight before. Thank you very much for watching the video. Do like and share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to not miss any of the upcoming amazing videos. Thank you once again.